All right, ready to dive in. Today, we're tackling the 5 a.m. Club.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of this one.
It's that book by Robin Sharma. It's all about those super successful people, the ones who get up early.
Yeah.
And we're going deep on a YouTube video summary, that you sent over.
Uh-huh.
Pretty intriguing stuff. So, have you ever thought about becoming a morning person?
I've tried.
Like, what if getting up crazy early, like 5 a.m., what if it helped you reach your full potential?
I mean, that's a big IF.
Right. That's what we're here to find out.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so this video, it starts with this really fun analogy. Imagine the Breakfast Club,
Go ahead.
but instead of detention, they're getting mentored by a billionaire.
Okay, I like where this is going.
And get this, the billionaire dresses down on purpose.
What? Why?
So people underestimate him. It's like he's saying, looks don't equal success.
Yeah, it's a good point. We all get caught up in appearances, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
But that's just the setup. The real message here is about building a killer morning routine.
Makes sense.
And they're saying the earlier you start, the better.
Okay.
Now, full disclosure, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
sounds brutal to me too, but this video makes a really interesting case for those pre-dawn hours.
Okay, I'm listening.
It all comes down to something called, get this, transient hypofrontality.
Transient hypo what?
Yeah, transient hypofrontality.
Right, break that down for me.
So basically, in those early hours, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that does all the thinking,
The thinking part, yeah.
the decision-making, it's still waking up.
So I'm a little slow.
Kind of, yeah, but in a good way. It's like your inner critic, the one that's always second-guessing you, it's hitting the snooze button.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
My inner critic needs a long snooze.
Right. So maybe you're less likely to overthink things in the morning. Ever feel like you get creatively blocked later in the day?
Oh, all the time.
Maybe this hypofrontal state is like the secret to unlocking those creative juices.
Interesting.
And there's more. Apparently, your brain is pumping out more dopamine and serotonin in those early hours.
Wait, those are the feel-good chemicals, right?
Exactly. Happiness, focus.
So you're saying I could swap that morning grogginess for like a boost of happiness and laser focus?
That's what they're saying. It's starting to sound a little more appealing, right?
Maybe, just maybe. I still don't know about that 5 a.m. thing, though.
Okay, fair enough. But here's another thing. They say that most people just aren't willing to commit to that 5 a.m. life.
Yeah, that tracks.
So if you do, you automatically gain a competitive edge.
Like a secret club of productive, happy people.
Exactly. And the only membership fee is a few hours of sleep.
All right, that part I'm not sold on.
I hear you. But hey, what if it's the ticket to becoming a history maker? That's what the source calls them, the super successful.
History maker, that's a pretty bold claim.
Yeah, so what makes these high achievers different? The video breaks it down into 4 main things. First, they really capitalize on their talents.
Okay, so they're good at what they do. I get that.
Yeah, but it's not just that they have more talent. They're just really good at maximizing what they have.
So it's more about focus, finding your strengths.
Exactly. What else? Oh, number 2, this is a big one. They're masters at eliminating distractions.
Okay, yeah, in today's world, that's a superpower for sure.
Right. The video talks about simplifying your environment, focusing on a few key tasks.
Creating those distraction-free zones.
Especially in the morning.
Easier said than done, right?
Absolutely. Okay, number 3, day stacking.
Day stacking. Never heard of that.
So basically, it's the idea that small, consistent actions done every day, they build up to big accomplishments over time.
So like little by little.
Yeah, it's like compound interest for your goals.
Okay, I like that.
Right, so I've got talent, focus, consistency, and the final piece of the history maker puzzle is personal mastery.
So like always striving to improve.
Exactly. There's even a study mentioned in the video
Oh, really?
that says it takes around 2.75 hours of daily practice to reach like elite mastery in any skill.
Wow, 2.75 hours every day.
That's dedication. But if you're really passionate about something,
Yeah.
you got to put in the time, right? And these quiet morning hours, maybe that's the perfect time for that.
That actually makes sense.
Right. Now, to help support all this personal growth, the video talks about the 4, wait for it, interior empires.
Interior empires. That sounds intense.
Right. These are basically the 4 key pillars of, well, being well.
Okay, break it down for me. What are these pillars?
Okay, so first you've got mindset.
We hear a lot about mindset these days.
True, but they emphasize that it's just one piece. just as important is what they call heart set.
Heart set, so like our emotional well-being.
Exactly. It's about managing your emotions, developing healthy coping mechanisms, not just thinking positively all the time.
Yeah, makes sense. What are the other two?
All right, we've got the health set.
Okay, so that's the physical side of things.
Diet, exercise, energy levels.
Got it. And the last one,
And finally, the soul set.
the soul set. What's that all about?
This is about connecting to your purpose, finding meaning in life.
That's deep.
Yeah, it's about figuring out what truly matters to you.
Okay.
So you got this holistic approach, right? Mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, they're all connected.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But here's the thing, we're talking about waking up at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
We're talking about conquering these interior empires. How do we actually do all of this?
right. That's the million-dollar question.
Well, that's where the 20-20-20 formula comes in.
Okay, 20-20-20. What's that all about?
This is the roadmap for making the most of that first hour, at 5 a.m.
All right, give it to me. What's the formula?
Ready? 20 minutes of intense exercise.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
Intense exercise at 5 a.m.
I know, right?
I don't know about that.
And then 20 minutes of reflection and journaling, and 20 minutes for learning and growth.
Okay, so break that down. 20 minutes of exercise.
Yeah, they really emphasize getting your heart rate up first thing in the morning.
Why so early?
Well, there's some science behind it. Sweating, it helps decrease cortisol.
Cortisol, that's the stress hormone, right?
Uh-huh. And it increases BDNF.
ADNF, now that's a new one.
That's a protein that helps your brain form new connections.
So it's not just about physical fitness.
Nope. It's about boosting your brain power and reducing stress right off the bat.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal.
Hmm.
What about that reflection piece? What does that look like?
So they suggest taking those 20 minutes to quiet your mind, connect with yourself, reflect on what's important.
Get centered,
Exactly. And journaling is a key part of this.
like a mental declutter before the day gets crazy.
Exactly. Okay, so we've exercised, we've reflected. Now it's time for growth.
Okay, the final 20 minutes.
This is where you nourish your mind, expand your knowledge.
So reading, learning new things.
Yep. Podcasts, online courses, whatever stimulates you intellectually.
Makes sense. This 20-20-20 thing sounds like a really structured way to start the day.
It is. But with all this talk of waking up early and, conquering these empires, I gotta ask, when do we actually sleep?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Are these 5 a.m. club people even human? Do they sleep?
Well, you might be surprised to hear this. This whole system, it actually emphasizes sleep too.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they point out that as a society, we're seriously sleep deprived.
Okay, yeah, no argument there.
And it's largely because of our technology.
yeah, those screens.
That blue light from our devices, it messes with our sleep big time.
Tell me about it.
It interferes with melatonin production.
Melatonin, the sleep hormone, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so even if I'm dozing off with my phone right next to me,
You're probably not getting that deep, restful sleep you need.
and if I'm going to get up at 5 a.m., I need my sleep.
Absolutely. But the good news is creating that digital sunset, it doesn't have to be this huge, drastic thing.
Really?
There are small, practical things you can do to make it easier.
Okay, give me some tips. What can I do?
Well, one of the most effective things is to set a digital curfew.
A curfew, like for my phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Choose a time at least an hour before bed.
Okay.
And after that, no more devices.
No phone, no laptop.
Nothing.
That's tough.
I know. But trust me, it's worth it. And if you find yourself reaching for your phone out of habit, just remember why you're doing this.
Okay.
It's not about deprivation. It's about taking back control of your time and attention.
Putting myself first.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about creating space for things that help you relax and prepare for sleep.
Reading, a warm bath, meditation.
Exactly. Find what works for you.
All right, this is making me rethink my whole evening routine. I
Yeah.
definitely need to cut back on the late night scrolling.
Right. It's like you're telling your brain to stay awake when it should be winding down.
Exactly. Okay, so no more phone in bed. What else?
Well, this might sound extreme, but try making your bedroom a completely tech-free zone.
Like no TV, no laptop, nothing.
Your bedroom should be a sanctuary for sleep.
Okay, a tech-free sanctuary. I can try that.
And if you use your phone as an alarm clock,
Yeah,
get an old school alarm clock. That way you're not tempted to check your phone first thing in the morning.
that's a good point. Start the day on my terms, not on the terms of my notification.
Exactly. That separation between your sleep space and your digital life, it can make a huge difference in your sleep quality. And when you're getting good sleep,
Yeah.
You'll have more energy and focus to make the most of those early morning hours. Put those 5 a.m. club principles into action.
All right, this is making a lot of sense.
Good. So we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we?
We have.
The science of early rising,
Uh-huh.
the interior empires,
Yeah.
creating a balanced routine that's not all about hustle and grind, but also about renewal.
Yeah, that balance is key.
Right. So what stands out to you as the most important thing we've talked about?
For me, it's that reminder that success isn't just about working more hours. It's about working smarter and taking care of yourself.
Making choices that support your well-being.
Exactly. And I think this whole 5 a.m. club thing,
Yeah.
it gives you a framework for doing that.
I agree. And you know what?
Right.
Even if waking up at 5 a.m. sounds crazy,
Yeah.
it's not about being rigid. It's about those core principles.
Yeah.
Intention, self-discipline, growth.
Finding what works for you.
Right. It's about designing a life that helps you thrive.
I like that.
So I got to ask our listeners,
Yeah.
is the 5 a.m. club something you'd be willing to try?
Even just a little bit.
Exactly. What could you achieve if you started your day with more intention, more focus?
Food for thought.
Right. Maybe, just maybe, those early hours hold the key to unlocking your potential.
Interesting.
So we've covered a ton, but there's still one piece of the puzzle we haven't really gotten into.
Oh, what's that?
That whole digital sunset idea.
Yeah, we touched on it a bit, but
Right. And that's a big challenge for a lot of people, especially now. So we're going to dive deep into that in part 2 of our deep dive.
okay.
Practical strategies for disconnecting and creating healthy sleep habits that will set you up for success, even if you're not quite ready to join the 5 a.m. club.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it. So picking up where we left off, let's really get into this twin cycle of elite performance thing. It's a pretty interesting idea, especially because it kind of goes against that always hustle mentality you see so much.
Yeah, like we're supposed to work ourselves to the bone to be successful. But this twin cycle says that real productivity actually comes from balance. Have you ever felt like pushing harder actually leads to burnout instead of better results?
Oh, totally. The source actually makes a point about our energy and focus. Those are finite resources. We can't just run on empty forever.
Right. It's not about being lazy. It's about being strategic.
Exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
think about an athlete training for a marathon. They don't just sprint for hours nonstop.
Yeah, they have those rest days, right?
Exactly. They have to let their body recover to come back stronger. And it's the same with our minds.
That's a great analogy. So rest isn't just about like Netflix and sleeping in.
Right.
It's about actively doing things that restore our energy.
Mental, emotional, physical.
So what are some examples? What does that look like for people?
Well, it's different for everyone. It could be spending time outdoors,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a hike, or just sitting in nature.
Yeah, fresh air.
Some people find it in creative hobbies, painting, writing, music,
Okay.
or even just disconnecting and spending time with loved ones, having good conversations, being present in the moment.
I think that's a really powerful point, especially now when everything's so busy.
It is.
We almost feel guilty for taking a break.
I know, but it makes us more productive in the long run.
Exactly. So we've got to shift our mindset. Rest isn't a luxury. It's essential.
Essential for success. I like that.
So we've talked about the science of getting up early, cultivating those interior empires, and this whole idea of the twin cycle. But for someone just starting out, where do they begin? Is it really just setting an alarm for 5 a.m. and going from there?
Well, getting up early is definitely important in this whole 5 a.m. club philosophy.
Okay.
But it's really just the first step. The key is what you do at that time.
Right. It's about creating a routine, a plan.
A deliberate and intentional routine. That's what sets you up for success. And remember that 20-20-20 formula.
Yeah, the 20 minutes of exercise, reflection, and growth.
Exactly. That's a great framework to start with.
Okay.
But you have to experiment. Find what works for you, because what works for one person may not work for another.
Right. So adapt it. Make it your own.
That's it. Find your own rhythm. Create a routine that feels good, something you can stick with.
And that routine, it'll probably change over time.
Of course.
Yeah.
As you learn more about yourself.
Okay. So what's one small thing someone can do today to start incorporating some of this?
Well, just start by noticing your current morning routine. What are you doing in those first few hours after you wake up?
Okay.
Are those things helping you have a good day, or are they holding you back?
So it's about taking stock, seeing where you can improve,
Right. Once you've done that, then you can start to experiment.
like baby steps.
Yeah. Maybe set your alarm 15 minutes earlier and use that time to meditate or journal.
Hmm.
or swap your sugary breakfast for something healthier.
Those little changes add up, right?
They do.
Yeah.
And once you start seeing the benefits of those small changes, you'll be more motivated to keep going.
It's like a chain reaction.
Exactly. You're creating a positive feedback loop that makes those good habits stick.
I love that. So we've covered so much. Early rising, the interior empires, the twin cycle. But there's one thing we haven't talked about in detail yet, that digital sunset
Okay.
idea.
Yeah, that's a big one. And it's super relevant these days, with everyone always connected.
Right, so we're going to dedicate part 3 to that. We'll go deep into practical strategies for disconnecting, setting up those healthy sleep habits so you can really make the most of those early hours, even if you decide the 5 a.m. club isn't for you. Welcome back for the final part of our deep dive into the 5 a.m. club. We've talked about a lot, haven't we?
We have.
We've gone through the science behind getting up early, building those interior empires, and of course, finding that balance between work and rest.
The twin cycle.
Exactly. But now it's time to talk about something that's probably a struggle for a lot of us, especially now,
With that?
creating a digital sunset.
Oh,
The
yeah.
idea of actually disconnecting, putting those devices away for a whole hour before bed.
I think a lot of people would struggle with that, yeah.
It makes you a little uneasy.
It does, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like our phones, laptops, they become such a big part of our lives.
Right.
We use them for everything.
Yeah.
Work, connecting with people, even just relaxing.
It's true.
So the thought of just like shutting them off for a while,
It's hard.
yeah, it's almost like separation anxiety or something.
Yeah. It is. But as we talked about before, all that blue light, especially at night,
Yeah,
it messes with our sleep.
big time. It's like we're telling our brains to stay awake when they should be getting ready for sleep.
Exactly. It's like trying to fall asleep with all the lights on in your room. Think about it. How well would you sleep?
Not well at all.
Probably not very well. That blue light, it does the same thing.
It suppresses the melatonin production, right?
Yeah.
That's what helps regulate our sleep.
Exactly. So even if we manage to fall asleep with our phones right there, buzzing next to us,
Yeah.
we're probably not getting that good deep sleep we need.
And if we're going to try this whole 5 a.m. thing, we need our sleep.
We definitely do. The good news is creating that digital sunset, it doesn't have to be this, all or nothing thing. There are small steps we can take to make it easier. What do you think?
Yeah. Baby steps.
Exactly. So let's talk about some practical things we can do.
Okay, I'm listening.
One of the most effective things is to set what they call a digital curfew.
Like an actual curfew for my phone.
Yes. Choose a time each evening, ideally at least an hour before bed.
Okay.
And after that time, no more devices. No phone, no laptop, nothing.
That's going to be tough. But
I know. But if you find yourself reaching for your phone, just out of habit,
yeah,
just remember why you're doing it. It's not about depriving yourself. It's about taking back control of your time, your attention.
putting myself first.
Yes.
Okay, I can do that. No devices after a certain time. Got it.
And it's about making time for those things that actually help you relax.
Oh, yeah, like reading a book.
Right. Taking a bath, maybe some meditation, whatever helps you unwind. Find what works for you.
Okay, so I'm already thinking about my evening routine.
Good.
I'm definitely guilty of the whole scrolling in bed thing. But I get it now, It's like I'm telling my brain to wake up when it should be going to sleep.
Exactly. So here's another idea. What if you made your bedroom a tech-free zone? No TVs, no laptops, no phones, just a place for sleep.
Wow, a completely tech-free bedroom. That's a big change.
It is, but it could make a big difference in your sleep quality.
Okay, I can try that.
And, if you use your phone as an alarm clock, a lot of people do,
Yeah.
try getting an old school alarm clock. That way you're not tempted to check your phone first thing in the morning.
That's smart. Start the day on my own terms,
Yeah.
not on the terms of my notifications.
Exactly. You create that separation between your sleep and the digital world. It can make a huge difference. And when you're well rested, you'll have more energy, more focus to actually live out those 5 a.m. club ideas.
I'm starting to see the bigger picture now, how it all fits together.
Right. This whole deep dive, we've really gone through it all, haven't we?
We have, yeah. It's been really insightful.
From the science of early rising
To building those interior empires.
and creating a routine that's about balance,
Yeah.
not just working all the time, but also resting and taking care of ourselves. So, what are your biggest takeaways from all of this?
For me, it's that reminder that success isn't just about working more. It's about working smarter, taking care of yourself, and creating a life that you actually enjoy.
I love that. And the 5 a.m. club, it's really just a framework.
Yeah, it's not about being rigid.
Exactly. Waking up at 5 a.m., that might not be for everyone, but those core principles, intention, self-discipline, growth, those are things we can all benefit from.
Absolutely.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive into the 5 a.m. club, I have a question for you listening. Is this something you'd be willing to try, even just a little bit? Imagine how different your life could be if you started each day with purpose and intention. Maybe, just maybe, those early hours are where you'll find your greatest potential. Thanks for joining us on this journey.